So now I just want to demonstrate some of these labs. Let me go to my, here we are. We're going to talk about command injection. So last time I demonstrated path traversal, which is due on the 23rd. You should do at least 2 of them by then, and more is worth extra credit. Each week you should have at least two of these WSA things done, and I highly recommend doing more. And path traversal is the next one. Our command injection is the one due in 2 weeks. So let me demonstrate some of these. And these are also extremely easy. So I've already got my burp set up, and I've already opened the browser in burp, and I've logged into my Web Security Academy account here. So I'm going to go to my proxy history and clear this old stuff. All right. And so I just went to all labs and I searched for the word command because remember, they're not really in alphabetical order or anything. And there is a section called OS command injection. So let's take a look at some of these. Here's the simplest one, simple case. All right. So I open it in a tab and then I'll access the lab here. I always do this first because it spins up a container. It takes some time. And while that's coming up, I can then see there's an OS command injection vulnerability, which is going to be like the ping form in an earlier project from me. It executes a shell command containing user-supplied product and store IDs. So I want to execute the whoami command. And the solution is here. I'm just going to work from that. They say modify the store ID, giving it pipe whoami after the number. So get a request that checks the stock level. So let's see, here's a store, and if I view the details about a product, then here's the check stock. Now notice the hidden field is showing up because I left my burp proxy exposing all that stuff. So let me send my burp proxy back to normal. Get rid of all this. Otherwise it's going to show me stuff I don't really need to see right now. So I'm going to refresh this page. All right, now I'm seeing there's a check stock button, and they said that's where the injection was. So I'm going to get rid of this old stuff in the history. Okay, now I'm going to check stock. Okay, it gets the answer of 62. There's the request that did it. So I send that to the repeater. And now I've got a product ID and a store ID. And they said one of these has an injection. I'm going to just guess, maybe it's this one. I can do pipe whoami. That might work. Let's see. Send. And response shows whoami extra operand 1, unbound variable. I got a bunch of error messages. All right. But I did get the name Home Peter Chu in this unnecessary error message, but that wasn't as clean as it should have been. I think they expected the other one. Let's put it in the other parameter. In store ID, pipe whoami. Send. And now, now I just get the answer right there. So that's a little cleaner. By the way, I noticed they use a pipe. I often use a semicolon. I wonder if that would work. Semicolon, whoami? And it does work. Okay. And now I get both of them, 62 and that. See, the pipe will take the output of this one and feed it in the next one as an argument. The semicolon will execute both commands. All right, they both, anyway, that's the simplest command injection, just like the ping form that you did earlier in the projects that I wrote. Now, we're going to do a couple ones, a blind command injection. You remember you did the blind SQL injection a while ago. Blind means the command executes, but you cannot see the output. So let's open this lab and take a look at the solution here, which is get the feedback and the email parameter. Lets you inject a command in there. with 2 pipes, they say. So let's try that. Email. So it is feedback. Okay. And I'm going to clean out the old stuff in my proxy. All right, and now I'm going to fill in this with just A and A at B.com, just so it looks like an email address, and A and A. And that will give me a valid request, which I can then examine and modify. So I will send it to the repeater. Okay, so here it sends, here's the name, and here's the email, here's the subject, and so on. So I think they said the email has the vulnerability. So I wonder what happens if I just put semicolon, who am I here? See what that does. Send. And the response, see, could not save, doesn't really tell me anything, but 500 internal server error is a clue that my syntax is no good. Now, I don't know how they thought I was going to figure this out, but they said you put 2 pipes before this, and then 2 pipes after it. So, okay, now I send it. Now my response is 200 okay, but see, I don't get an answer. See, it ran the command, but it didn't let me see the output. That's why it's blind. So the way to know that it's working is send a command that will take some time. And that was, I think, ping minus count 10, and a loopback address is an address I know I can reach. And so that would take some time, so I send that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it takes a long time, and that's the point. I can prove that it is running the command. Now there's a lot of other things I could do. I could do a ping to one of my servers and run like Wireshark or TCP dump on that server and see the pings come in, and that might work. Anyway, but this is the way I've verified that I can inject commands and run them on the server, but I can't see the output. All right. So that's vulnerable to command injection, but to see the results, I got to do something better, and let's try this one. Redirecting the output is one way to get the results in such a case. So here, let's access the lab. All right. So there's a writable folder at var www images. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the answer in the images file. The output is not returned, so we want to get the who am I and put it in a file in there. So they tell you how to do it here in the email. Use these double pipes again and send who am I to a file in var www images. That'll create a file in the images folder that has the data, and then you have to find a request that loads an image and modify it to view it. So there's 2 steps. So first I'm going to copy this and put that in the feedback form as the email. So I go here and go to the feedback form. And again, I need to send a valid one here to start from. A at B.com and A and A. And I can get rid of all the old stuff that just is in my way. Okay, so I send one of these. Now I have a request to play with. Send it to the repeater. And here's the email. Okay, and what they said was replace the email with that. Pipe, who am I will now go to var www images output.txt. So if I send that, the response is nothing, but from the previous one, I'm pretty sure it ran that command. And if that's true, there's now an image called output.text. So let's find a request that loads an image. So if I go back here, there, some of these requests loaded images. So if I just do a refresh, it's hiding image requests here, which is annoying. So I have to tell it to quit doing that. Show me the image requests. Okay. And there, now there's images all over the place. So I can copy one of these to the repeater. And I just need it to have the name of the thing I created, which was output.text. For the image. So let me see that. Send that request. And now that tells me it's right, and the response, there's the name. So that's the kind of steps you go through. If you can't get your data, you try to find some way to put the data someplace where you can retrieve it. So that's a few of these, and that's all I wanted to show you tonight. Let me stop this.